New video. The language is already here, and it is for precisely, and this is ages older. I mean, this is like Buddhism. Like, what is communications going to do for us? You know, and it's here to bring us into the sky. It's like so we can come to, kind of a thing, and that keeps up an entire people. I was going to say pupil, but see, unity. See, if you stay in communications, all right. I don't know. I'm just going to show you something here, and okay. So let me just write it and put it back up, and explain. See, see, it's about communications right now, babes. You have a communications device, and we all do. For some reason, we're all free to have this thing. There's the word UNE. Babes, that's important that I explain that. I'm going to keep explaining this until the day I die. I mean, hopefully not. I think other people will take it on and they'll be able to run with it. So here we got COMmON. That's like universe, okay? I already kind of did this, but maybe I look better this time, and you have to keep repeating it. You have to keep on repeating. COMmON. There's the word cat there, but we're not doing that. I'm looking for a bird in the word that is like, it's like we're getting down to like the, what do they call it, the nuts and bolts of why we should communicate, like, and then how it would benefit us all to know how to do it and what to do it for. Like, I know it seems like I'm beating around the bush, but because like I put in the first video that cut out, but I think I tagged this video onto it, right, where I'm wearing this shirt and it's kind of a bright light and I'm trying to do my chalkboard. Anyway, COMmON. See, I would like to keep symbolism going in our communications, and you can. If you have a typewriter, you too can lowercase I. But in my case here, because I'm as free as a bird, I'm a human being, and I am going to draw an eye, as in the third eye, you know. But I'll light it up like this. See, because UNE. Anyway, so but we all know that the lowercase I means that the I is on. And we happen to have a suffix, kids. You know what a suffix is that it's the end of a sentence that you'll see, like shun, TION, or SION. See right there, it's like there's an S or a T, but now you can take that away. It's ION a lot of times. You see, babes, that ION is ion. Your eye is on. That's obvious, okay? So you can go ahead and take that freedom to capitalize anywhere in time and make it look right. Put the eye on right there. I mean, in and of itself, that's its standard. It's showing you right there, ion. Everybody knows this word communion. Okay, there's communion. But that's in the word communications. Well, that's in the word communication. See, why? See, a Buddhist would say, why did you communicate? Why are we talking? Why did you want to say, huh? See, because Buddhism is just a conversation between two very different types of people. You don't even know, man. But a Zen master or a Buddhist master, because that's all they have is their communications, right? I mean, a lot of times, it's not like a karate movie where nobody's talking and they're just like, wah. No, boy, no. They are known in the East over there, right? You have a lot of people. Alan Watts is a good communicator about the phenomena of Buddhism. It's hard to talk about talking, but see, they use it. Oh, it's right away, right away. A Zen master, first of all, because that's when it starts. See, their being is accomplished as a human being. Love it is, and so there they are. And then here comes people. Okay, and then it's like, you know, they are under the illusion that they are separate, and they're like, And so the master was like, and so it's time to talk. Who knows, babes? But they are getting it done immediately, right then and there. First of all, who knows? It's like they just kind of listen, and then they'll come. Their response might be one of the oddest responses that you have ever come up. I mean, it could be something like, well, and then you will oppose it, perhaps, and it's like, oh, well, they'll probably start out exactly where you're going to leave off, whether it's 2 hours, and you're like, okay, well, I'll never see you again. 2 months, where you just kind of like, oh, you know what? I don't like you, or 2 years, or 20, but you just, all of a sudden you have this disagreement, and that's the way it was in the beginning. You probably missed something. And was it the Buddha's fault? No, the Buddha just knows. It's like, well, okay, so we'll come back to that, I mean, whether or not, that's where the Buddha says, pardon me, well, the Buddha does say, I mean, it's like, well, you can go over there and run away from me, but I come back in a different form, and it always communicates. All right, so how's your community? You see, somehow I'm going to make it known to you people that you are communicating, right? You have a communications, and then there's unity. See, I love the fact that UNE is there, right? It means one, right? But it's because TY, that's a suffix in and of itself. We've kind of seen it around. I'm telling you, just look into this. You can in order to find out like what we're looking into as a human being. See, this is the interfacing system. The capital letters, you're free to capitalize anywhere, anytime on your iPhone, so that you can let the people know that you're there. It's better than any courthouse. Boom, 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 because you don't have to go there. So this is communion. That's to be achieved as far as, see, the church or religious people talk about that. But what it really is, in reality, babes, Christ tried to tell us, okay? And so this is the word, this is the language. Is your eye, is it on? See, now let's talk about, okay, this is a trippy word that I just learned today. Yeah, I was wondering, so it's called money. Money. It's kind of like, it's like you've been, like there's a stamp or stamped, there's money or you're moneyed, right? I mean, like you have been watered, there's water, and then there's water, and then there's watered. See, this is moneyed. See, if you're being moneyed, see, you understand? It's like, see, water has a different function, but money has a different function. Now, what is it? What's behind it? See, you have no idea. I come up with it. It's just a computerizer, really. It's a good way to computerize ideas, something, but it does manage to create a collective that works for it. And if we trace it back, babes, the way that they stamped gold and did it, mined gold and called that money, and then they gave that into the government, aliens, by the way, in exchange for what? Machinery and stuff that, in fact, whoever had them stamping up gold was giving to them. And it was that's kind of the game, right, of being imprisoned and then enslaved, and so that's difficult to think. Otherwise, the gold and the silver would not be so important. What's really important is, like, do we have fresh water in the desert, or here anywhere? But for some reason, that control system has everybody always leaning back on the gold standard or whatever, which is like, babes, as well as money, gold and silver is useless. Well, they use gold for teeth, which is the safest thing to do. Otherwise, we don't know what to do with it. We wear it around our necks, and it's useless there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is a reason to wear it on your body, but we don't know why. Hardly. And are any of us wearing enough for us to feel the difference of just warding off all of the EMF waves? Includes people and the way that they think and stuff. They go, fuck it, it's a mess. So getting back to community. See, it tells me that why that you communicate. That's all. This is just instructions. It's just saying, babes, you're either going to miss it or you're going to get it. And this right here says that that's what's going to bring you together is communications. So one more thing. I don't know how to get you to see what I'm trying to what I can see. I know when I listen to this, it's going to come out so stupid. I mean, I'm trying to be funny and stuff about it, but I see an obvious here. It's just instructions as to, like, in case you forgot, like the Holy Scripture or whatever that you call it. You talk about the Word, and it's like, yeah, no, that's if there is such a thing as a code or a decode. I say it's decoding because right now we're speaking in code. We don't even know what we're saying when we say community. We think of different, or see, this is the thing, very important. We think of different arrangement, like there's that community and this community, and over there's a community and then that's a community. No, see, I say that here, like this, there is, I don't know, who can draw it now, but there's the United States, right? And then there's sorry, but this is supposed to be Earth right here. Ear, by the way, keep the, you want to keep that fun going. We've got to listen. EAR is in the word Earth, and so, but it's okay. You can still see the word Earth if you are halfway human. You're doing that puzzle. If you're not a human, you're like, the E and the A and the R are up. Would you please stop doing that? And it's like, fuck you. I can do that whenever I want. Listen. Listen to yourself. Okay, so community Earth. See, there's that's really your community. But see, you don't even know what community means. Let me continue. Com means communications, right? And then, see, there's other words for the chattering or whatever we do. I mean, there's a lot of different kind of forms of communication. Now, getting back to verses. Verses is communications, right? Just technically, if you can stretch your mind and say, yeah, if there's a verse there, it communicates something. So it's a form of communications, right? Thank you, kids. Okay, so we have universe, which that means, what does uni mean? It means one com. It means one. One. So you can put, now this is what's going to explain a lot to you if you can just throw everything out and look at what it's telling you here. Do you see this? This is the eye is open. Okay, that's what you have access to. Talk about money, okay? One. I. D. It's really on-eye or O-I. See, ED always, it kind of means education. Look it up. What does the abbreviation ED stand for? They'll tell you education. It's like one of the first ones. But if you trip out, like, it's always past tense. See, your knowledge and stuff, it's always something of a past tense. Especially, yeah, knowledge means past tense. Knowing is now, and then it's actually a true form. Like, that's the true. See, when you know, it's not knowledge. So anyway, let me get back to just universe. See, you keep that I and the V down, but actually this is up. This happens to be in its superior position. This is in a lowercase y. Well, I don't know, but it's because you want to see what's here. See, the R reverse says, reverse it, please, and try to make sense out of that particular configuration. If anything, it's these. Now that says C right there. C. Yeah, that's C. You know, because communication is a form of seeing, isn't it? Like, in case you didn't see, then you should kind of say something and say, well, here's what to look out for, right? So verse has the word see in it, or seer. It's important to use that R reverse rule because that allows you to toss the letters around, which not are letters, they are symbols. But to have fun here, babes, you go along with it and find the birds in the words. Universe. See, one C though. One C. Really. Well, one see. It's just if you don't even have to have your third eye open to see through the sky. And then there is the sun and the moon and the stars and the trees and the birds and the bees and even me, if you've ever and graduated into outer space. And I don't know where you are right now, but what you're watching right here on a screen, that's not me. A 5-year-old can understand that. And this is so important because we have, let alone that have people been confused for, oh God, a long time, right? From just the screen being there, now we have AI coming in and nobody really knows what's real or anything. It's like, why, nobody knows how unimportant it is to think that this can give us anything but the ability to two-way street. They're watching now. They're wondering, what is the condition of the human perception here? Who are they, Shauna? There's benevolent beings that live in outer space, and they're the intergalactic monitor here. You have a monitor in front of your face, and all they can do is watch. They have like the respect of like a good mother. You know, they kind of just watch, and if they fell on the butt a little bit, well, there are things implemented to where healing can happen, right? I mean, they have to stay clean out of it and let the baby grow. Really, I mean, if you didn't know that, you don't helicopter like that. I mean, it's not helicoptering because ain't nobody gonna save it. Everything is in front of it that it needs to figure something out. Through meditation, they can dial in on it. They dial in on it through way of the feeling of their body. If they get something right, it goes zing, and they get so much. They have to learn. It's like, what is that feeling? Well, you got something right. That's what happened. Shh. It's never going to happen for you at school. You have to kind of receive that. And believe it or not, no, you can find it in the English alphabet. You can get that feeling, babe, to yourself. If you are that close to the universe, see, we're talking about, okay, now community, that unit, the human being, it is said, and this is Buddhism talking. Buddhism is very important. They say, oh, goody, computerization. They knew like 2,000 years ago they have a cave. It's like 10 miles long or something that has all the different ways that man will reach enlightenment. Never talked about women, by the way. It's kind of weird, but mankind is heading for it. One of the ways is through quantum computerization. Why? The only use for it, says Thich Nhat Hanh and Dalai Lama, is like, it's a perfect time to let people know that enlightenment is possible, that they can make entrance into outer space and or the sky, and they can kind of abandon the mind a bit, and lots of healing can happen. We can really start getting into the cure. We can spread the cure across quantum computerized 7 billion. I mean, it can become a contagion. They call it a contagion, not a virus. See, that's how you know when it's your enemy right there. Your enemy just has a contact high. But no, I'm sorry, your friend, sorry, your friend has a contact high. Your friend is the one trying to tell you what the fuck community means right now. Okay, very difficult, but seeing all this, there, it's beautiful, you and I. Just give me some time here, and I'll show you why you want to start just doing it on your iPhone. First of all, you have to have a deep understanding, right? And then that means you're graduating as knowing that, in fact, as in the sheep, this is your brand, babes. You got to do it. And I already told you the alternative, which I bought a sandwich the other day, and I did it computer-wise, right? I put my order in, and they wanted my name and ethnicity and all this stuff, and I knew they wanted a name there, and I was going to put a sheep, but I put a heart. And so anyway, the sheep. I wonder if people, because I'm never going to say we, he, she. I say you, the sheep. This is we, he, she. But really, it's you, the sheep. See, but see what you want. But if you don't like that, I know a lot of people are brainwashed. But I'll say, babes, you don't want to. You want to be a sheep. You don't want to be a sheep in wolf's clothing. That's your narcissist over there with the fake smile and the fake nicey nice. They're faking being sheep, babes. They're faking being it. Now they have to, otherwise, ugh, who knows? So, otherwise, um, they would have to stay in church. I don't know. So you can sign it the hearts or a heart. This is when you know for sure that pretty much this is all you can be, right? I mean, you're not an American. You're not, you're just human, okay? You're a human being. So do you see what's in the capital, babes? See, only human beings can do it. This is what's going to work. See, what? There's a he, her there. Whoops! Babes, that's what's going on here. It's like, it's nothing hocus pocus what I'm uncovering. I'm just saying, do you want to be the member of the natural order of things, or you want to do fucking whateversville over there that's under the knife and says, oops, I wish I could have kept my genitals. Sorry. I love you guys, and it's weird, but something very sick about that. Why don't you fucking get some therapy? And see, this is the thing is, sorry, everybody needs therapy, but where do you go? You know, you're supposed to have, what if there's a community that can help you? You know, wouldn't you rather have community rather than a therapist? Let's look what a therapist is up to. Everybody knows this, right? But we got to repeat ourselves. A the rapist, I don't know. Make sure it's a woman. Can't be that bad. So anyway, back to trying to make you see what's communicating already. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear, it's not difficult. See, this is what is not difficult. It's just say, how many people have dislocated from that? Well, unfortunately, it's outnumbered now. And we need a movement that makes the small numbers who are in fact more connected, like they have a lot more power. But there's a massive like smokescreen operation to push us down. Who, Shauna, who? Well, do you remember John Lennon? He used to kind of talk about it, but he's not going to do it as clear as I can. It's kind of limited what he was saying. He's just like, peace. Peace. I'm here to push peace. You got to have a billboard. They advertise their wars. I am advertising peace. Where do you get peace, John? How does it happen? He just couldn't do it farther than where his limitations would take him, which is most likely just he's a man. Mankind is in trouble. I mean, I'm really saying, oh no, see, I think, well, where are women? I think that's a big key. Huge. See, in fact, words, communications, like talking, that's her thing. That's her thing. See, she has to talk. She has to communicate. She has to. If anything, she says her vowels. But yeah, the vowels is hers. See, that's the upper spectrum. The vowels are hers. She uses that to let you know whether or not you're doing it right. As far as a man is concerned, there really isn't a concern, but sometimes they want to get together, and she's like, oh, well, then she starts using her vowels more. You know you're doing something right with her when she says, ah, ooh, stuff like that. If it's then that kind of zabs birth. You got to listen to it, you know. There could be a no, and then you stop and you figure out, well, what am I doing wrong? If it's an alive woman there, all she is doing is trying to direct you into something that would be suitable for all life, most likely. She wants some things clean because she's going to be raising kids, and not only that, but there's a lot of things. She is amazing that way. So she's like dialing in gardens within gardens within gardens, and so you want to listen to her but fuck all that, right? I mean, who cares? You can go skydiving. She's gonna stay over there and do skydiving too. Who cares? So, but her sanctuary, her place, the place of sex is hers. That's hers. That's where she opens the door and says, "Well, let's just come on in." But not before. See, there's an equation the man has to hit. Sorry, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but he hits just bringing things that she needs. Period. Get it, bring it back. No, don't minimize. Don't spend less. Get the highest quality thing. Bring it to her. Don't say much. Install it. Bye, I gotta go. Do that for 2 years straight. That's after you become a friend of hers. This is only if you want that thing to light on fire and say, "Come on, baby." And she opens that door of sex in and says, "My room." That's what you want. As a man, that's what you want. See, you don't get back to her unless you learn how to handle that thing there. And it's not really a game, you know. I know, I think it's just whether or not she wants to have a kid or not. That's how it is. She can just say, "Fuck it, I'll never have a kid, but I'm still going to do quality control." You're going to learn how to see when you come across a woman like that. See, here's the saying: a man's intelligence can be brought up just to the level of the intelligence of the women he is being present to. That means, well, if you ask me, it's a hit and miss in this arena. Boy, there's like 7 billion people, and who knows if it's half and half. And so most people, 92% of people, aren't even graduated and qualifying as becoming human being, let alone are they men and women. Men and women can become, that's the thing. See, when you find at the lower torso, there's the belly button, and you go down like this, that there's a penis there, that's a man. This is in case you want to know what all right, let's not get that explicit, but there's something here that it says, okay, we are the pew. Put the L down. We are the pubic. Aren't we or aren't we not? See, a sheep doesn't even need a shepherd to do that puzzle. You say, but what is the real word in that public? A fucking mouth noise. Under the sun, what is it that we can see? Plain and simple. Well, we see pubic areas. I'm serious. I mean, might want to admit it. I didn't lie yet. The kids are getting all excited. They're like, so anyway, calm down. It's there in plain sight. You want to participate. It's a matter of your success. Sexist or success. Don't you know that there could be some slurring going on? Sometimes you hear a mouth noise. I saw it up here. I worked for millionaires up here, and when they said one word wrong, I was thinking about, I was like, the fucking consequences of actually pushing that word said wrong. I almost fell backwards, but I didn't work for that person after that. From that day on, couldn't do it. It was within hours. I said, you know what? Fuck you. I don't care if I'm getting $25 an hour. I got to get out of here. That's wrong. You don't do a mouth noise and slur something. See, there's a lot of slurring going on. It's like, now we don't even know what the fucking word means. Like this word. There's a word called no. When it's really now. It is. Hi, Nancy. Me again. See, the K is supposed to be silent. See, it's a trick because now if you can just flex your mind a bit and say, no, but that's really now. Why? Because that's the only way you can really know is in the now. Now, K is silent. Y isn't. See, it would have to be that the W is taken off and the K is silent. Now you have a no. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, like, what is available in the now that can be handled, that you can actually say, now I know. Now I know. Right? So, And you can have an edge by looking at a book, but the books can only be now. Put the L down. Ledge, edge. See, there's the ED again, education. But I like to just raise up the fact that there's now edge. This means you have an edge if you read a book and you're about to enter into something, but no matter what, you can't think that you know. No, because no is beyond thinking. Now is, sorry, bad language. Like I said, some millionaire actually taking an instruction to say something wrong over and over again sends the trajectory of a whole fucking community. Oh, it's not even a community anymore. Yeah, no, there isn't any oneness there. I mean, why are you even singing the song? Fuck that, you know. So, I hope that this interested you a little bit. It's a whole 33 minutes of just a blind thing there, and you can't see, and sorry about that, but I'm going to keep doing this because I see now what I'm doing is like, man, like I said, this is right at the nuts and bolts, or what do they call it? See, I will be helping us with this, but see, this is to help your perception too, though. But see, now if you can see this and if you can start working this stuff, then you're elevating your consciousness into human evolution. You are able to see. Now you're going to be able to understand this thing here, this symbol, this particular symbol here, which is God. I mean, it's right in it. It's not God. It's just, this is the symbol, okay? Well, here, the O. Ah, because that right there, see, you only get one side and then you drop off. And you're like a half circle going on. And that's because they took one spectrum away from your perception as far as your communications are concerned. You think that it's suffice to capitalize a letter at the top and then the rest just drops. And the fact is, you're free to capitalize anywhere, anytime, to show that you know your intellectual property, what it looks like, and then to solidify your spiritual belonging. So that's what this is all about. See, do you see that T right there? Truth. Babes, wherever you find this, that's the truth. But did you know the word his is there? You can play with that. You know, mankind is doing this and that. See, his hat. There's a burden word right there. But see, what I would do is keep it to that. Well, you know that A is very powerful. Keep the A up. And see, there is at, which I know it's crazy, but at means atom. And that's where it's where things are. We have atomic matter. Do you see how I'm reducing down the babble? You know, it's always going to bring you into a centralized knowing or vibration of your rights to the resources here. Yeah, which is not only the universe, babes, because the universe, you know, there's that saying that says, we are one with the universe, and I say, what part of one do you not understand? This is the place we are. We're here to learn something and expand and see the universe here in this place is our relation with each other. Yeah, and now that relation, you know, it's up to us to communicate, and when we do communicate, especially on this thing, you see, it starts to get very, very kind of channeled, because this is how the movement is going to start. I mean, we know that there's a lot of like static, you know, there's the backdrop, and no, when we raise our perception into more and more of how it really is, that we are one with the universe. But how does that work scientifically, man? I'm telling you, sorry about that light back there, but I'm telling you right now, Now, I want to show you how it works, how that you don't really need to read a 600-page book to figure out like what science is here to do and how we use it and what it's all about and what's the best way and all that stuff. It's right here in front of your face. And see, when I use the symbols, see the word science has the I in it, but it's in its uppercase superior position when it's lowercase. What we mean is that it's in its divinity. But we're going to show you how a good scientist is. See, they have an eye that's open, and all they're doing, sorry, I just, it kind of, it gets redundant after a while to me, but it's something that, because I see it, and I am a good scientist, babes. See, the main one there you see is the word see. See, they are putting blinders on everybody, and then they're calling the shots. Really, they take away the information, the truth, and you don't experience it enough, and then they're manipulating everything. So anyway, the word science is interesting. So you have that. So you have the obvious right there. Where okay, now what I'm going to do is just put the I, so you can just understand what true science is all about. It's right here. It's saying, no, you cannot have any kind of science there without your eye open. And this is in order for you to see. Yeah, otherwise you're kind of blind. And then if you have enough people that are blind, science goes way off into left field and it's not real science anymore. It's not God science anymore. It's not community oriented. So we have the C science, right, where you see. And then, this is where you're having fun, kids. If you're doing, you might have to use it. You have, I'll put the I there. Just go ahead and use the I. Do it. Just do it, man. Install it in your computer. You have an iPhone. Here's iPhone. That lowercase I is because they want you to know that you're missing. They're playing fair right there. And the intergalactic monitor says, well, how do you like when I keep doing that? They seem to know that it's an iPhone, but they're not decoding. See, I say decode it, put the P down. I1. You have an I1, babes. That's in case you want to get moneyed. One-eyed. But see, that phenomenon, the one-eyed, babes, you wouldn't believe how much of a sacrifice that really is. In order to just get your central banking system going, you have to get rid of the fact that you love your enslavement, that you have Stockholm syndromes, and your mind is like, no, I'm staying safe. All of that. Anyway, sorry about the lighting. So getting back to real science and what it involves, if you would like to graduate into it, see, of course, you're seeing. I showed you the see, and that's through this and your eyes, babes. So, but what are you seeing into? Well, there is a SENE. Was I supposed to put the SC for scene? Sorry. Yeah, scene. There's a scene. Let me just look it up. See, sometimes I completely blank out, but no, I'm right about that. There's a scene. See, the scene is what you find in outer space. Outer space isn't it? See, outer space is always this amazing security system called transparency, where it's just the free information, all the information, what's information is free for you to see. And see, what's information, babes? This might take a while, but I'm going to keep doing it, and I hope it's a contagion. What's information is purely physical. It's not illumination. That's what's found as 2D inside of 3D. What's illumination is like what you're getting here from the computer, and it's a light, and you think I'm there, but no, that's just a computer, babe. I'm not in your life, and you're not in my life. See, I'm reality oriented, babe. I know who's in my life and who isn't. Very little. And so, but here we are. We're trying to. Can we pull up into outer space and maybe like turn this off? And do we get coffee together? Where? I don't know. And where did the coffee come from? Just halt a bit. getting back to unconfusing yourself like that and just using this thing for what it's really supposed to be meant to be used for is to get our own central banking system, whether it's completely computerized or not. Like, what I mean is electronic or not, doesn't matter. But make them do it and say, no, that's taken care of. And plus, I want my money from how that they keep stealing from us. But see, they keep waving all this money in front of our face. They're talking about it. They won't let you know that that's your money, and you should interface into AI by making AI prove that it can see that a human being is there. Not only that, but they are elevating consciousness and perception into the interface, which is already installed. I was trying to tell you how it's already here. You have organization. What do you think? Do you have an organ? It could be every organ. You just say, I am a vat of organs. But what we're really looking at is the heart, because that's what is in connection to all else. And that's the oneness that we're talking about. See, the mind cannot achieve that. See, the mind has to surrender, and that's definitely the ego, and that's the kind of trick of the school, the curriculum, is to surrender the mind and learn the truth. And why would you want to do that? Well, to get on the same page. You can, sorry, get on the same, get into the same page. Like, you don't want too much of a mix-up happening, and then war always being the answer to an economic structure, whatever it is. See, really, we are at the mercy of these warlords, and if we can figure this thing out and say, well, can we build sanctuary in accordance to how our Constitution, our rights are our needs. As a human being, I need this. What? See, a lot of people don't know what they want or need. They really don't. And that's going to have to start finding simplification through what? Through more and more stress, unfortunately. But it's already here. They're already doing it. Some people might be able to participate, but they're going to have to just start talking. They're going to have to start being all magical and shit. And say, no, this is how I have rose above the intended constant attempt to keep people's vibrational frequency on low and thinking that it's just hopeless, and also not thinking at all, right? And see, it shouldn't be that your own heart is so closed off that you see, your heart is a laboratory itself. It's the science laboratory. That's what I call it. And that's where you are to be sure that you know that you're doing your own experiments. And with that, you're clicking into the brain what works. And babes, I'm here to tell you the truth is the same for all. So, like, if, for instance, you're not going to I don't think you're going to get away with, like, say, growing plants without sunlight and water. Some kind of source of light, some kind of source of moisture. I don't know. I mean, stuff like water itself, okay? There's a certain temperature. When it gets cold enough, it turns to ice. A narcissist can't sit there and say, no, actually, it's not ice at a certain temperature. If it tries to do that, babes, one person out of 20 people will try to do that, and the 19 people will say, no, that person's kind of, send them back to wherever they need to go in order to engage better and just admit that the truth is the same for all, for everybody here. And there's only one sky called reality. Are you into your community yet, or is it the universe you're missing? I don't know.